What's up, guys? Farooqi Bros here, back with another video. And today for you guys, we'll be talking about some of the biggest releases of June 2023. So let's get right into it and talk about a film that, is going to be probably in the awards circuit coming up for 2023, 2024 rather. And that's Asteroid City. So, it's Wes Anderson being, Wes Anderson. If you guys know his style, then you know it because it's high aesthetic. It's his specific, center framing, the rule of thirds, all of it's being used. It's pretty much him at his best, in my opinion. And I will go first and give my quick thoughts. I give this movie a 4.5 out of 5. And I credit it for, some really good meta commentary. I think the non-linear plot structure was very interesting. I think Wes Anderson was being pretty vulnerable, actually, trying to kind of, the way I saw the movie, he was kind of talking about himself and his own process when kind of talking about the movie. So I thought he did a pretty great job. I think the casting was great. I think the cinematography was great. I think the color grading was great. So it might be one of the best movies of the year. Definitely in my top 5 right now, but we'll see as the year goes on. But it's potentially his most meta film yet. I'm not sure if it's his best film yet. How it compares to Grand Budapest Hotel, how it compares to even, Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is, a classic, so it depends how you feel about his movies and where you stand on them. But for me, and I think the way the audience sees it, you either like this guy's style or you don't, and you like this guy's writing or you don't. There's no in between. So if you don't like if my opinion is if you don't like his movies before this, you're not gonna like this one because he does his best, like, I don't want to say like compared to Beau is Afraid, because Beau is Afraid was Ari Aster kind of drinking his own Kool-Aid too much. But in this case, Wes Anderson feels like he was doing, like I said on my Letterboxd review, actually, I said this is Wes Anderson's most Wes Anderson film yet. Like, he just really, like, in his own, like, psyche and in his own brain. So, but overall, I really liked it. But I think I'm going to go to the resident Wes Anderson fan, which is Samir, because I remember when the trailer first played, we were watching, was it Beau is Afraid? And the trailer played and Samir was like, I will be seated. So now you've been seated yesterday. You saw it. The question is, what did you think about it?
I really liked it. And I've heard a lot of criticism about how it kind of feels empty, or Wes Anderson he went too Wes Anderson, and it kind of felt like a parody of himself, especially since at the end it got super meta with even the main character didn't even understand the plot of whatever Asteroid City was. And even I walked out kind of unsure what the movie was trying to say, but whatever it was trying to say, I really liked it overall. And of course, Wes Anderson always goes hard with the visuals, the cinematography, the framing, and the color grading, just classic with Anderson. I feel like you really have to be a fan of his work. I mean, you said this, like, you really have to be a Wes Anderson fan to kind of like this movie. And of course I was, so I really liked it. But I do understand the criticism and some of the pacing. It kind of struggled because of how it kept jumping between storylines, kind of. But I think every part of the story got good for me, especially when Willem Dafoe showed up, and of course the cast was stacked throughout. So overall, I think it was really good. I feel like if you don't pay attention to this movie, you'd kind of miss what it's trying to say because of how subtle it is. But I think it was incredible.
Yeah, I think the subtlety is what I wanted to touch on as well, because it does feel like it kind of feels like 3 or 4 themes, and to this day, like, I mean, not to this day, it's been in one day, but I still feel like it's I don't fully understand exactly what his central theme was, and maybe because he has multiple themes, maybe you have a better idea than me, because I was reading it as either it's Wes Anderson talking about himself, talking about like the challenges of being a creator and what it means, and that's like at least the meta narrative of the second play. Because in many sense, I don't want to. We can go into full spoilers because it is out now, but it's kind of like a TV show about a play about a play. And then, so each layer has its own theme, in my opinion. So it's like you're going through it, and it's kind of like, well, the second layer, all the black and white scenes, I feel like that's Wes Anderson using his own voice. Like that's like he's speaking through the character that Ed Norton was playing, the playwright. But the movie itself that the trailers advertised is the final play, is the final play they're doing. That's all the trailers were. Like, I give them credit. Like, none of the trailers gave off that this is what the movie was about. The movie was completely different than the trailers. So I really enjoyed that. Zayyan, I don't know if you're back. Are you back? But if you're not back, I'll keep riffing.
I'm back. Yeah.
Oh, you're back. All right. So jump right in. I want to hear your thoughts. Like, what did you think about Asteroid City? You heard me and my opinion and Samir's opinion. Are you more leaning towards us? Are you leaning on your own? Where do you stand on this one?
I mean, I mostly agree with all the points you guys made. And yeah, I think like most of Wes Anderson's films, this kind of like it's carried by the visual and how beautifully he shoots it and how he frames everything. And again, the color grading, everything, the specific choice of what color he pops, what color blends in with the background. I think he does a great job with that in almost all his films. And this is like just following suit. But overall, like you said, I think this is more of one of those, like for most audiences, like when you go to a movie, this will probably just fly over your head. And I don't think most people will go to this unless you really are like a big Wes Anderson fan. Because I think of general audiences, I'm like, what will they think of this movie? I'm not sure they'll like really like it as much. And as we kind of see from what people are saying, or even like the cinema score and stuff like that, it's not being received as well as his like big hits, like Grand Budapest Hotel, which is probably his most famous work. But I think that overall it wasn't bad in any way. I think for me it wasn't something too crazy. I enjoyed it, but it did feel kind of slow. I felt like the disjointedness of it, where it jumps from the movie of it, like the actual play where everything's in color and in character, to the black and white. Some of the scenes in black and white were very great. I think like when they're all in the room and they're discussing like how to do the play and the actors there and Willem Dafoe's there, or at the end where the main character's actors with Margot Robbie's character, whatever. Those scenes are pretty great, but I think it just felt kind of slow. I felt more interested in like the fantasy play world itself rather than the behind the scenes thing they're showing in the movie. So for that, it kind of felt disjointed for me. But I get what they're trying to do, what they're trying to say. It just, for me, it didn't really stick that well, but nothing to knock it like anything big. I think my score would be 4 out of 5, so not as high as Sheraz. I don't know if Samir gave a score or not, but for me, I settled on 4 out of 5.
What did you end up giving? I don't know where you stood at, Samir, at the end of it.
I probably lean towards 4.5 also.
So what was your 0.5?
Yeah.
What are you docking it points for?
Well, I didn't really like some of the black and white scenes at the beginning. I think some Edward Norton scenes kind of took me out of the films, especially since I cared more about the Asteroid City part of it. Like Zayyan said, that was more interesting, I felt. But then those scenes got good, so I didn't really mind it.
Yeah, and then again, it comes down to central theming. I'm not really sure what he's trying to say, and that's probably what one of the themes are. Like, to quote like the Jay-Z lyric, like no one knows what it means. It's provocative. It's like it's provocative for the sake of provocative. Like, and in the end, there's a scene. I don't want to get deep into the spoilers, but it's a scene where Jeff Goldblum is a character, and I'm not gonna say which character, but he's a character, and he says oh, you're not supposed to know, like that's the point, that's the point. Maybe you're not like. Well, what was the line? Like, just tell the story, tell the story, and it doesn't matter what exactly the audience thinks about it, because in the end you're making a movie for yourself. And that's all what the big directors say. The big directors don't make movies for general audiences. And in Wes Anderson's case, there's a meme, I don't agree with it necessarily, but there's a meme out there that the only people who watch Wes Anderson movies are liberal arts majors with grad school degrees. So he's only talking to one group of people. So I can imagine that it grows over people's heads. And the box office is talking for itself. I mean, it only made I think $3 million yesterday, which is not great. But then again, for a Wes Anderson movie, that's not what they're going for. They're going for the award circuit. And honestly, could it win Best Production Design? I think so. I think it has a good chance for that. I'm not sure it could win anything else. I mean, it could be in the running for Best Director. I'm not sure if there's a singular performance that really comes off as like the performance. Jason Schwartzman, I think he who played the main photographer, I think. Yeah, he played Mitchell, right? Yeah. So this is such a star-studded cast, so everyone's like moving back and forth. But I think he had the best chance at it. I think Scarlett Johansson also shows that when she's not doing a big blockbuster and she actually shows her acting chops, she does very well. So I also give her credit for that, and all the other cast I think did very well. Samir, any one cast member or two that really stuck out to you, like, yeah, this is the guy or the girl who did really well?
I think Scarlett Johansson was like the star of the show, really.
Yeah,
in terms of acting. But the cast
and literally from meta perspective, yeah,
yeah, exactly. But the whole cast was pretty stacked. So I can't really single out anyone else. I think she shined though throughout it.
yeah. I mean, when you have names like Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks, Margot Robbie, Ed Norton, Adrian Brody, who else? Bryan Cranston. So a lot of people were in it. Steve Carell was in it as well, who I think was Jan's favorite.
Steve Carell was a secret main character.
Bringing in Booyah. I'm bringing in Omer to the stream. But Jan, what are some cast members that stood out to you?
No, yeah, I think the main guy was really. I mean, it's hard to say. They're all really great in their like specific roles, whether it was a large role or a small role. I think everybody played played the part perfectly to really just form this picture that was this movie.
I thought Jeffrey Wright gave an underrated performance as well. Like the way he did his first speech, the one he was like talking about, like, oh, I was 9 years old, this happened. The other mic comes out. It's like very Wes Anderson, but it's like each time he keeps walking, a new mic comes out of the ground. I'm like, this is very Wes Anderson, but I thought he did a very great job with what it was. Last thing before I move on to the next topic is comedy and tone of the movie, right? So Wes Anderson is a comedic director, and sometimes it's not a great comparison, but I was kind of comparing this movie to Nope in my head, like a more comedic version of Nope, like the general theme of how it feels like when your world is shaken by extraterrestrial and what that means. It's very close encounters of the third kind, right? A little bit of Steven Spielberg, a little bit of Jordan Peele. So this has like a little, you could see influences of a lot of things, but he kind of does it his own specific way. So Samir, I'm going to go to you next. Like for the comedic person, do you think it was funny? Did you find yourself laughing at it? Did you just chuckle at it? Like, how are you? It's very dry humor. It might be one of his driest films yet.
I like the dry humor. The thing is, there was this one guy in the theater that was laughing so loud. It was one guy, just one guy, and he was laughing at everything. And that kind of
one woman laughing in ours, yeah.
That kind of made it funnier, but I did find it funny. I wasn't like dying of laughter, but that one guy was dying, and it made me start dying. So,
Zayyan, what about you? Anything was it? But you, I think, at least yesterday when we're coming back from the movie, you told me that you weren't sure not all the comedy was landing with you, or maybe it was too comedic for you. So where do you stand on it?
No, I didn't have any problem with the comedy. I would just make a comment that it was mostly just comedic, but I didn't have any issues with that. I thought most of it was pretty fine.
I thought the Steve Carell stuff was all good. I was laughing at all of the scenes when he showed up.
Yeah, his character was interesting because he was the most confusing, where you don't know what his motives are. Like,
the vending machine of real estate was so good. I was like, what the hell? Like, of course, like it's such a Wes Anderson like concept. Like, yeah, press the vending machine for land. It's like then they take it the dry humor, or like the cowboys, like, so what do you mean land's gonna come out? Like, speak to me, like all like the funny things. Like, it's such an interesting group of characters.
It worked very well.
All walks of life. Yeah, well. I like the idea of all walks of life just end up in this random city, and they're all so different, and then just you're bouncing the comedy off of them, and they just react in the driest ways. And finally, is the alien design. Did you guys like it? I thought for a second that Omer showed up on screen. I was like, what's happening? But did you guys like the alien design?
It was so good, bro. The way it was moving was so good. I don't know.
It was pretty good, yeah. Was it stop motion? I think he didn't use any CGI. It felt like very stop motion or puppet, literally. Like they were, I don't know. I had a hard time telling. I don't know what medium he was using, because for the Roadrunner, it was literally like a little toy. You could basically see the Muppet stick under, as they were using it. And I thought that was very clever as well. Like, just do your thing. And last person, Maya Hawke, who's in Stranger Things. I think she fits very well into like a Wes Anderson movie. I think she did very well as the teacher as well. So she did a good job. But yeah, so overall, I'm 4.5. Samir, you're 4.5, and Zayyan is 4. Right? Yes, no? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep moving. Oh, Fatma jumps in with a comment as well. She feels like the color grading is a bit too much this time, but maybe she'll like it when she gets around to watching it. Yeah, let's see how people think. I think, like I said before, this movie's not going to be a box office hit, and we're going to talk about the Flash next when it comes to box offices, and everything's relative. So this Asteroid City is going to make maybe, I don't know, 50 million total at the box office in its entire run, maybe. But it's going for the awards. It's going for a different movie. Either way, let's jump from one topic to the next topic, and it's going to be the Flash's box office woes. And that I brought my Flash expert Omer to stream to discuss the woes, man, the woes. This movie had an 81% box office drop. which is in line with Morbius. Like we're talking that level now in terms of box office. Like the DCEU, if there was ever a reason for it to be completely like this is it, nail in the coffin, this was it. The movie absolutely bombed the second week. Usually you give it some legs, some word of mouth. It did not do anything. And it's performing like some of the worst superhero movies of all time. And quality-wise difference, like I'm trying to separate it. Sometimes there's great superhero movies that do poorly at the box office. Sometimes there's bad superhero movies that do good at the box office. This is one of those situations where you can all discuss how you feel about it. But in my opinion, it's an average superhero movie that's doing extremely poor at the box office. Like I think this movie is better than Ant-Man, for example, but Ant-Man did way better, So this is what it is. But Omer, 81% drop. It's down to 4th place. Spider-Verse, which came out 1 month ago, is 1st place now. So Spider-Verse came out 1 month ago and is 1st place this month at the box office. The Flash just came out last week, already gone. So why is this happening? Why did the general audience not care about this movie? Show up.
I think it doesn't connect. It doesn't connect with them on a multitude of levels, right? So like, I think they had a certain intentions. The intention was to bring back like Michael Keaton, and I think like that would have somehow put people in seats because the Batman's such a popular character. But we talked about this last time on the stream that like that specific Batman, that's like in the 80s and the 90s, right? That's not the generation that's not like the majority of the fans now. Majority of the fans now grew up with like Christian Bale, like grew up as in like they like literally were kids when those movies were coming out. So I have a connection to like a lot of the nostalgia that they tried to use to bring people into watching The Flash. And then I think that constant regime changes and constant like screening it a million times, I felt like we already knew what the hell was going to happen in this movie before we even walked into it, because there was so many screen tests and so many leaks that even if you didn't know which version you were going to get at the end, but you did know like, okay, it's one of these, right? And I think that really hurt the movie. And I think that with DC is kind of, that's usually that's where they struggle the most, is that the studio doesn't actually. And also I hated the marketing. The marketing wasn't good. Like it wasn't really like, they didn't really pull out all the stops. At least there's some people I know like that love comic book movies. They didn't even know the Flash they didn't even know the Flash was coming out until like 2 days before it released. So I don't know, you know what I mean? Like you didn't gather the general audience the way you could have. And we've all been saying that there was a Flash movie in this movie. I think if they just did a very simple solo movie, it might have actually garnered more attention. I feel like for some people they were like confused that Michael Keaton's in it, Supergirl's also in it.
Yeah.
Like what the hell is this? I think they might have even expected like a Justice League-esque type of film, because you're putting these characters like this. The trailers have these characters, and I think it sets up the fans for disappointment. Even though a lot of people did like it. Like as far as I know, Rotten Tomatoes, the audience score is higher than.
Yeah, it's high. Yeah, and that's the weird thing. The fans who watch the movie, the word of mouth, like we said, Cinema Score B, which isn't great, it's average, but it's not garbage. Like no one's coming out of the movie saying the way they talked about Morbius, or the way they talked about Venom 2, or the way they talked about other bad movies that came out. But they were just saying it's okay. But the problem is, there's one thing if it's doing okay at the box office, no one's showing up. No one even came. No one bought tickets, to the point where embarrassingly, Fandango's doing a buy one get one free. It's buy one get one free.
It's WB to blame. Nobody else.
It's your boy James Gunn too, bro. This guy came out and like said like, it's all over.
He said it's all over. But I'm not sure the general audience knows what James Gunn is.
It's not James Gunn. It's just WB. WB's dumb. They put 1 billion fan screenings, so many that everybody, even people who want to see it once, they probably got to see it twice. Like I know I had the opportunity to see it maybe 3 times just on fan screenings, but just didn't go but they offered so many in almost every city in the US multiple times over like 3-4 weeks before the movie came out, some even earlier. So it's like everybody who wanted to see it or cared either saw it once or twice or even 3 times already. So then who's even gonna see it? And all those had +1. So then they took all the other people who might not have been interested. All right, let's just watch for free. So why not? And then nobody's left to watch it now.
And that's exactly what Fatma's saying in the comments. She's saying with the amount of fan screenings, people they couldn't bank on first time views. This movie's a mixed bag, but it died before it had a chance. And yeah, it does have like a DOA, Dead on Arrival kind of feel to it, where it's like the second it came, it's like whatever. And also, I think overhype. I don't know. I don't want to put any disparaging. I don't want to say anyone's lying or anything, but Tom Cruise saying it's the best superhero movie ever made. Like, where's that coming from? I don't get it. And then like everyone, even James
Tom Cruise.
He said that?
Apparently, there's no proof. It's just from the directors saying that Tom Cruise called him and said it's one of the best movies. And then James Gunn called it one of the greatest superhero movies. David Zaslav called it one of the greatest superhero movies ever. You overhype this movie as the GOAT. If you call something the GOAT and it's not even close to it, then you're going to get harsh reactions. If you just said it's okay, if you just said this movie is good, and you set that as the expectation, and we said, oh yeah, it is good. Now I'm saying, but it's like, oh, it's more like Victor Wembanyama, like they're saying, oh, you're the GOAT. All right, then if you don't get the GOAT, the expectations higher on you. So they call this movie the GOAT, and it's not the GOAT. It's far from it. It's the phony GOAT. But that said, younger kids might like it. Like he said, Fatma's younger brother Sammy liked it, and my kids might have a better opinion. But I think the general audience have a hard time connecting with this movie. The question is why. So Zayyan saying fan screenings played a part in it. Omer saying it's marketing and expectations of nostalgia. Samir, what about you? Like, why is this movie bombing right now?
I guess it was a little bit of everything you guys were talking about. I don't know. The bar was pretty high. I think they tried to control the narrative. Like, yeah, it's really good, but then no one even saw it, so no one could confirm that it was that good. So
and then I think the best, in my opinion, it's a mix of 4 or 5 things, like you said. I think one is the audience is kind of tired of the DCU, right? And that's confirmed because every single DCU movie since Aquaman 2018 has absolutely bombed. Name one. The best one was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Guess what? The hierarchy changed. Without China, he had the best box office in years. So somehow Black Adam was the one that was the best performing DC movie in the last 5 years, right? Not counting non-DCU movies. So why is it that Matt Reeves, the Batman, did 800, Joker did $1 billion, but any DCU movie is doing poorly? And this movie, now when we're talking about marketing, they marketed the Batman in every single trailer. They made it almost look like a Batman movie,
which is bad.
Like, oh, well, that's gonna save
bad.
Right?
Which was the mistake, because I understand, like, from a marketing perspective, Batman gets Batman's the best, and I get it, but you don't do that.
Not this Batman.
Called The Flash. The movie's called The Flash.
And then the next thing is, mistaking your nostalgia. The people who watched, the people who care about Michael Keaton are in their 50s and 60s right now in age. Okay? Let's be honest. They're in their 50s and 60s, maybe late 40s. That means they either have kids, they're doing their own thing, they're disconnected. The audience you have to hit is the millennials and the Gen Z, right? Millennials, No Way Home hit it. They're like, you guys remember Toby? He's coming, go watch him. And then Gen Z watched Andrew Garfield. So you got both audiences to be like, pull up. Deadpool 3, which rumored is bringing back Hugh Jackman, we know, but it's rumored to bring back a lot of the X-Men cast. I think that's going to do better than The Flash because X-Men are millennial audiences superheroes. We care about the X-Men because we grew up with this. So we're going to watch Deadpool 3 to see Hugh Jackman come back, right? Who's pulling up to watch Michael Keaton? Who's pulling up? So I'm like, some people might, but
except I'm not. Zane, nobody, bro. Zane freaking loves.
Bro, even I wouldn't pull up.
And guess and Michael. I'm sorry, not Michael Keaton. Kevin Smith put some context a few weeks ago on his podcast, and he said that number one, they wanted to get Christian Bale for the end sequence instead of Clooney. They asked him, they begged him so that Bale comes out of the car and sees Ezra Miller Flash, and they thought that'd be like a really good scene. And you know what? It probably would be a good scene, but I think everyone knew, including Bale, that would, number one, ruin his credibility. It would ruin the Dark Knight universe's credibility.
Oh yeah, ruin it more than Thor did.
No, but it ruins his credibility with Batman. Like, at least that stays where it is. He isn't actually going to take anything. But if his Batman showed up in the end, that means you muddled Christopher Nolan's universe. Why is he there?
I actually think it didn't work because it would have a reverse bad effect, where then the audience, they don't know what's going on. They'll think, oh, Christian Bale, now he's the Batman. We're going to see more of him.
Yeah.
And then when they announce the very, very bad cast, whatever it's going to be in Brave and the Bold, they're going to be like, where's Christian Bale? Yeah, it's only going to add to more confusion. But nobody cares if George Clooney's going to be back.
They didn't want to make. You're actually right. False Promises was a big reason why they changed the ending with Cavill because the second ending of the Flash, where Cavill, Godot, Supergirl, Sasha Calle, and Michael Keaton were all going to show up at the end. They took that out. They took that out because they thought it's promising something that's not real. Like they're promising. But the post credit scene is going to be Ben Affleck, like reaching out to the Flash to save him, for setting up the Flash sequel. And then Kevin Smith also said that the Batman Beyond movie was still on the table with Michael Keaton. They were going to make a Batman Beyond movie if the movie did well, but the Flash obviously bombed. So so Batman Beyond is officially gone.
Which is so stupid because you don't have to do it Michael Keaton. You could still do the concept. That movie would make money.
Who would you use as the old Batman? Bale? You can't use Affleck.
No, you don't have to use any of them. Cast a new guy.
No,
Cast an older guy.
I think it only work because since you have a new character in Terry, you need to establish Bruce to do a Batman Beyond movie. You need like a Bruce Wayne.
No. Actually, Michael Keaton would be very good.
Yeah,
Go for
he can't be like a recluse like it was in this movie. He has to be like actual Bruce Wayne. You know?
He was recluse in Batman Beyond too.
No, I mean, but he wasn't like he didn't have a beard. He didn't look homeless. You know, it wasn't like that. He was still like a businessman. You know, like he was still in charge of Wayne Enterprises and
he was
like
making
the guy. You know,
he was making pasta, bro. Either way, the Flash. Unfortunately, what this means for the future of the DCU, very, very little because there is no future. The universe is dead. And why? Everyone has their debates. Some people blame BVS. Some people blame Justice League. Some people blame something else. I don't want to get into which movie. I think it's Justice League 17, for example. I think that movie.
Now that you brought it up, you have to get into
it. It is Justice League.
I think it's Justice League, but a lot of people think it's BVS. A lot of people say BVS is what ruined.
It's not box office wise. Justice League is one that bombed both critically and box office.
And Aquaman came out after JL 17 at $1 billion, but I think Aquaman was an anomaly, and I'll tell you why. If you look at the box office metrics, it didn't perform that well in America. It's internationally, it went crazy, and I think Aquaman 2 will not be doing the same numbers. In fact, I'm not sure Aquaman 2 is even coming out. Let's be honest. I might get a tax write off. And this is the last thing before I move on. Do we feel like DC needs a break? Like they should just go away for like 3 years. Like there should be no DC movie for 3-4 years. Do you think that's true?
Relax.
DCEU, yes.
No, all DC. Like DC has to take a break. Do you think yes or no? Like because the audience is so sick of it, maybe they don't want to talk about DC.
But they're not that sick of it. Batman got 750, 800 close to there. That's not sick, you know? You have something. It should have been $1 billion, yeah, but maybe it's too dark for some audience for the kids.
I think
so then you lose some of that audience.
I think their best case scenario is that they, in my opinion, you delay Superman Legacy to 2026, maybe 2027, 2026, and you cancel Aquaman. I feel bad, but you cancel Aquaman 2. Maybe even cancel Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle, keep it fine. Cancel Aquaman 2, okay? And then you move Blue Beetle to something.
Why cancel it when you've already done everything?
Bro, because you're ruining the goodwill of the fans, bro. The fans don't want to see this anymore. They want to take a break. And then you come back in a few years.
So you want the last thing of Gismo Aquaman to be him in like the dirty puddle and the end of the Flash? That's how you
guess what? From what I've heard, Aquaman 2 is the same. Like it's the same thing. It's not much difference. But look, let me explain something. 2 franchises are doing this. That's never been done before. It's like superhero movies, we put a different layer on it. Star Wars, they're taking a break. After Rise of Skywalker, that came out in 2019. It's 2023. For 4 years, there's been no Star Wars movie. They want to take a break theatrically. And when they come back, they're going to do it big. Guess what else is taking a break? Harry Potter. After Fantastic Beasts 3, it was so bad, they were like, we need to stop all Fantastic Beasts movies. Okay, cancel that franchise. But we're not going to rush into Harry Potter, Cursed Child, or anything. We're just going to take a break. In fact, we're going to go to streaming now. We're going to make an HBO show for Harry Potter. But they were taking a break theatrically. They will come back one day. I think they're going to come back with the Cursed Child, honestly, because David Zaslav said that the TV show universe does not impact the mainline universe, like the 2 different things. So that means the original cast is still present technically if they wanted to make a movie, but they're taking a break, and that's smart. You know why? Audiences were sick and tired of Harry Potter after Fantastic Beasts 3, and I feel like they're sick of DC too now. They're sick of DC for a few years, and if they took 3 years break, just 3 years, took it easy, and it came back with Superman Legacy as like fresh start, brand new DC. I think
what's even coming out next year? That's DC, the new DCU.
Blue Beetle. That's coming out.
Blue Beetle this year. Next year, 2024. I think
there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Well, it's just Joker. That's it. But that's not DCU.
Joker. So next year
getting
is a break year.
Next year, next wave like the new era is gonna be break. You know.
So it's a 1 year break basically. Is that enough? I don't know.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the Joker 2 is gonna be better than anything James Gunn comes out with, and the Batman 2 is gonna come out in the middle of that, which will also be better than anything else, which will set them up for failure because they went with the wrong guy. Who's the
But
next Batman? Who's the
Joker
next
2, it
who's
won't
the
hit a
next
billion.
Batman? Who's,
I don't know,
who's the
bro.
guy
There's
that's playing
rumors, bro.
Batman?
I don't know. There's could be anyone. Jensen Ackles.
That guy's bad. I saw
I'm
some
gonna
of his clips
boycott the
yesterday.
movie. I swear.
But you have thing is, look how spoiled these Batman fans are, Samir. They're like, oh yeah, I'm not watching the Brave and the Bold. I have my Matt Reeves trilogy. Us Superman fans, we're in the gutter right now. We're like, we got one option. Just gotta watch
No,
it.
but see, you have like
This guy said us, and he said it to Samir. Samir hates Superman.
you have a lot of
Seriously,
potential in the animated series. There you go. You have something.
you know what? That is not that bad. Like, I take some of my words back on that. That still looks pretty good. Samir, what are your thoughts on this concept?
On what? On what specific?
On
The break.
On the break, yeah.
The break. You said you said all of DC, which I don't think.
No, I mean all of DC theatrical, like just theatrically taken.
I mean, but like then you'd have to talk about Joker and
fine, Joker can stay.
maybe
Everything
the
else
Batman
goes away.
Part 2. I don't know.
Yeah, delay everything. I would delay everything. Just
Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe just the main DCU they should take a break from.
the main DC doesn't need a break. It's dying this year unless they cancel. Like after Aquaman 2 comes out, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
And that
once
movie
it's
takes place
dead,
in the
just
Clooneyverse.
let it be dead for a little while and then restart it.
I don't know. Aquaman, bro. Aquaman 2. I don't know about that movie. It takes place in the Clooneyverse. Technically, it's a continuation to Batman and Robin.
They brought Clooney in so you wouldn't want to watch that universe. You know what I mean?
And that was actually low
They
key a middle
brought the
finger to
guild
fans.
Self-sabotage.
Low key a middle finger to fans. Like this is where we're gonna end your universe. Like you don't remember it started with BVS. It ends with Clooney in the universe. That's where it ends.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. They didn't know who they were catering to. It was just a mistake from ground up.
So the Flash, unfortunately, maybe it's gonna come back on streaming. Maybe a revival. Whole movie's on Twitter, anyways. But I'm saying might find it on.
Maybe WB will sell just the Flash property away.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. WB's like short selling everything. They're selling all their music, all their
All the
films,
classic movies, Turner
They're
classic
selling
movies.
it all to like. Well, I heard Steven Spielberg and
They're all fighting it. Yeah.
They fought it and they walked it back. They said they're going to
Okay,
keep their
yeah.
classic movies, but they're still selling their old music. They're selling all that stuff. They're on a short fire sale.
I'm
They're
telling
selling
you,
their property
no
away.
respectable filmmaker will ever come to this company. Like, you can't respect Warner Brothers anymore. They're not a respectable place where big films can be made. You know, like old. Now
They used
like,
to be. That's the
go
sad
somewhere
thing.
else.
They
Yeah,
used
it
to
used
be
to
big
be.
deal.
They used to make like big classic films, and now what are they doing?
It's time to give Disney the reins.
Disney to buy it.
They fell
Swell's jumping in with it all went downhill after they stopped the Snyderverse. Either bring that back or stop giving us bad attempts at Marvel movies. Samir, what's your thoughts on that comment?
I don't know. Bringing
No.
the Snyderverse back, that would be a bigger mistake than restarting, I think. Because now you're too far gone. And you can't do it now. You can't go back now. You just got to restart.
I tell you what, if they did it, it would make way more money than all these other stupid movies that are coming.
I don't think they can go back either. I'm actually, and I'm rooting for it. I think they can go back.
It would make 800 million easy. Just like
You think tomorrow if they announce Justice League 2, it would make
Easy.
money. I think people will get
Henry
confused.
Cavill, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot. Are you kidding me?
They were
trust me.
all already in this Flash movie.
No. Also, there was no press to it. There was nothing. Because I get the Ezra Miller stuff, but what about Michael Keaton? Where's the interviews? Where's like the stuff?
He didn't want to do press for some reason.
He didn't want
why?
his name attached to it outside.
You know why? It's not even the name thing. He got pissed because he was promised a lot. He signed a 3-movie contract. He signed a movie for Flash 2. He already signed for it. He signed for a Batman Beyond tentative, and he signed for Batgirl. And the Batgirl thing, he shot the movie and they destroyed it. So for him, he has no incentive anymore. So he said he's not doing press. So guess what? The entire press was done exclusively by Sasha Kaye, who is a fresh actress. Like she's not commanding that kind of voice, but she alone did it. It was her and then the directors. None of the cast doing it. Ben Affleck not only didn't do press for it, he was not even credited in the movie. I was shocked. They didn't credit him as Batman. He's not even there in the credits. How is that possible?
He probably told him not to, but he's like, yeah,
No, but see, Swell's the right idea. Because, yeah, you can't go back to exactly Snyderverse. You can't use the same characters, the same ideas. I mean, the same story or whatever, the same actors. But it's like the idea that you can't copy Marvel, and every time they try, they do very bad job, and it's always making like zero money at the box office. But then you look at even BVS, it made like 750, 800. You look at the Batman, you look at Joker, made $1 billion. Why are they so scared to make DC its own thing where, yeah, it's a little more serious, it's a little more adult, and it doesn't pander to like a very general audience like Marvel does? You do your thing, you make a better movie, but they're just scared to do that. And every time they try to copy Marvel, it comes out worse than Marvel itself. So it's like, when are they gonna learn? And they don't.
DC's finished.
I'm telling you now, they think that because James Gunn did it in MCU, he could do it again with these characters, but it's not. It's gonna fail again.
So you're saying Superman Legacy is gonna fail? But I think it could do okay.
I don't know.
What I will say, with the way
it could be super boring. Like, he has to make it good.
With the way WB is burning money, though, I don't think if James Gunn is smart, he should be counting like his backup plans, because I don't think this universe is getting off the ground. I think if he's lucky, he might be able to convince them that if this universe fails, for example, he might convince them that let me just make a Superman trilogy, forget the universe, and then cancel everything else and just go back to a non-universe structure. Because I'm not so sure that the Authority movie, Swamp Thing movie, I don't know what else they're making movie. I don't know if these movies are going to do that well after.
They're giving him too much credit because he brought D-list Guardians to make him A-list characters now, as far as audience is concerned. They think he's going to do with these DC characters like Authority and whatever. But really, he's just pushing his family and friends to get cast in the movie. That's it.
Oh God, he called them.
They're not going to do well. I'm telling you, for Superman, if a single pop song or something happens, like his Guardians, it's going to be a 0 out of 5 movie.
So you don't want them playing Elton John's Starman when Superman's flying?
You don't want to see Superman?
It's going to be -5.
There's going to be songs in the movie, but there's no way there isn't.
Superman,
do you want songs in the Superman movie?
So garbage. So garbage.
Do you want James Gunn to do a needle drop in Superman Legacy? Yes or no?
Oh my God.
Do I even want a Superman movie?
Of course you do. You want to see him fight Parasite, don't you?
Who? Isn't the Authority like animated or something? Isn't one of them animated?
Yeah. So Superman versus the Elite. The Elite are the Authority. It's been renamed. So, in fact, from the rumors, that's what the movie's going to be. So I don't know if you guys are excited for that, but if you're expecting Brainiac or something, don't expect it. It's basically
that doesn't work without an established Superman.
He's making basically Superman versus the Elite, basically, that movie, the animated movie.
He can't be a year 3 Superman doing this.
He's going to be
not doing enough existential crisis.
You can already see the comedy. Superman's going to be like the straight face, like not understanding the comedy, and then the Authority are going to keep bouncing the jokes at him, because the Authority is where James Gunn is at his best. That's like Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy, the bunch of misfits thing. That's all he does. So he's going to make the Authority like the characters he already does, and then he's going to play Superman like the straight-laced
Boy Scout.
Yeah, he's like, doesn't understand it, and then they're going to play that joke off again and again and again the whole movie. And then it's going to end with Superman being like this extreme Boy Scout. He's going to be like, I'll never, do something wrong. And the Authority will be like, oh, he's just a Boy Scout. They're going to make those jokes. I can already see this movie being made.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
that's why it's bad. That's why it's bad, because even take the animated version of like him facing the whatever Matches of Black and his gang, whatever, like he straight up like made the facade that he was killing all of them and suffocating them. But like, they're not going to do that in this movie. It's going to be garbage.
Aesthetically, I want Superman to be bright like this, though. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
I have no problem with bright colors. Yeah,
I don't want any pop songs with Superman's flying around.
The pop song. I don't
Give
think
me some good music.
I don't think it's gonna be pop songs either. I think it's gonna be like
It's gonna be Drake.
No, it's not gonna be Drake either. It's gonna be old songs, bro. It's gonna be old songs.
No, it can't be old songs. It can't. That's stupid. If you don't want to follow Snyder's movies, at least follow Christopher Reeve's movies. They didn't do that garbage. Like, don't do that. Don't ruin Superman.
What if I
Keep
tell
him
you
like
Man of Steel has some needle
mythical
drops?
character,
Man of Steel has some needle drops. Let's not pretend we had some 2 or 3 in the beginning.
It had one when like the bus is like driving.
The bus is driving, and when he's like running like shirtless and getting the clothes from the thing going.
Yeah, you're talking about the very old
that's
school
right.
Kansas
If he did
music.
something like that, whatever.
It's whatever.
It's like talking about Man of Steel.
If he does an equivalent of Superman's first flight, but with like some pop song in the background, I'm telling you, I'm gonna walk out of the theater. It'll be so bad.
I'm telling you, Elton John Starman.
Important scenes can't have it.
It's gonna play. I'm telling you.
It can't be like the Flash, where like the third act main fight is like garbage song playing in the background.
The sad thing for the Superman movie is that there was another Superman in his prime, and that's where they ended him. So it's gonna be bad. Like, I'm telling you, no one's gonna, bro. Look at this guy. Look at this guy, and whoever that new guy is, David Corn Sweat, whatever the hell his name is. He's not gonna add. It's not adding up. It's not adding up in my head.
I'm telling you, Henry Cavill will go down history as like the Andrew Garfield of Spider-Man. And when they bring it back for a multiverse movie,
he disappeared.
That's how you know there's no multiverse movie happening.
And they will bring it back.
I think they're gonna do
a Crisis on 2 Earths movie or something, and the DCU, and they're gonna meet. like 10 years in the future.
Yeah, it'd be like Power Rangers all coming together.
No, it's gonna be like yeah, it's gonna be like
Pretty worse.
words, you know, Power Rangers. Bro, this is Boo's Batman though, Loki.
Bro, look at that freaking garbage.
That's your favorite Batman though. It's your favorite one.
Yo, I'm telling you, nothing is worse. Nothing is worse. We've never
Samir
seen.
doesn't like
Look
Samir
at
doesn't like this
that.
Batman.
Look at that. How did we go from that to whatever the hell we just saw before this?
Do you mean how do we go that to this?
Yes.
I would
It's not even that bad. This is obviously
Yeah,
A1.
this is different.
Yeah, this is peak. I don't know about the rest.
No, this is peak too. It's like co-peak. You know,
Is
It is
it?
peak. They're both opposite ends of peak.
Samir's acting like two legends can't coexist.
They don't. That's the thing. They can. They don't.
Yeah, let me tell you something about Samir, okay?
3 Spider-Mans coexist. That's
Samir
what's called the GOAT.
loves Ben Affleck's Batman.
There's something else.
Loves.
There's something different.
When he came on screen, I saw him smiling.
Of course, it's pretty sick.
You didn't see me smiling. It's 'cause
Oh, I
like,
saw you smiling. You were,
Oh,
you
this guy
were,
was
Nothing was
laughing the
worse
whole
than the
time.
Flash.
you were
got
so
love, bro.
happy. You were so happy, bro.
that Omer loved the joke. He was laughing like crazy. I'm telling you.
Wait, which
Yeah.
joke?
I'll tell you what.
All of
The
it.
Wonder Woman joke.
I'll tell you what. Ezra Miller did a good job.
He
Unfortunately,
did.
He did a good job. We said that.
Unfortunately for him, it's over.
Oh, no, it's over. It's over for the team. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You know, actually, I'm fine. He's gone because that suit was garbage.
This is
I
Zack
wanna
Snyder
see
Justice
that
League, right?
again.
This is ZSL, right? This is not Justice League.
Yeah, it's Zack Snyder.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
Zack Snyder Justice League with the color grading in the square. Yeah, I just want to make
That's
sure.
that's the color grading is so bad. Bro. Look at
No,
it.
it's not. It's so okay.
It's good.
Bro,
It's
Look
good.
at the
bro,
fire.
the
If you
Superman color
compare it
grading.
to the oversaturated, over bright colored, over contrasted Justice 2017 Justice
Yeah,
League.
that's worse. That's worse. But that's not good either.
Let me.
No,
let me-
but you have two things. You gotta take this one. This one's just a million times better.
Of course, it's less. It's the lesser of two bads.
Okay, why is the color grading bad to me?
Look at it.
Put
It's
back
not-
up
it's
on
so
screen.
I'm gonna send. I'm gonna put both up right now, bro. Let me get the Joss Whedon.
No,
stuff.
don't put
Look
up
at the
both
other
because
one. The other
Samir's
one
not
we know
making.
is
Samir's
bad.
not saying 2017 is better. He's just saying that the
Oh.
song one's bad.
The shot is good.
Yeah, tell us why it's bad to me.
I hate that fire in the back. It's so
What's
weird. It's
wrong
like
with
such
the
a,
fire? It's
look,
one
it's
shot,
like
bro.
such a
What's
weird
wrong
frame.
with this
It's like framed so weird. He's not even standing in the middle.
Remember, a
Because of the way
lot
it
of the
pans
last
into
minute
the scene.
VFX they had to do like in his garage.
Bro,
Yeah.
they did this VFX in the garage, and the Flash had 10 years to do the movie.
Is that right?
Bro saw microwave baby scenes, and he's like, "Yeah, that's good. That's
That's
good."
your favorite scene ever. I swear.
Yeah,
That's,
compared this is Joss Whedon's version. Look how blue it is, bro.
that's so bad.
What the frick?
So bad.
This is what Samir loves. Bro.
What's
Samir
with that
loves
fake fire in the back again?
Yeah, and then they made even though it's supposed to be night, that's why all the lights are on. They made it day. Good job, good job. This is night. It's like a night scene. Either way, whatever. All I'm saying is DC.
Now put the Batman up again.
Samir, I know what you're saying, but Zack Snyder's like objectively better than the Flash, and so is Ben Affleck's Batman.
All right. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
he agrees with that. Yeah.
But is it good?
Well, it depends on who you're talking to. For me, it's top tier.
Me, I only like Wes Anderson, obscure. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what the theme is.
It is true. We're comparing color grading of super movies. We saw this kind of color grading yesterday, bro. This is top tier color grading.
This peak pastel desert color grading. That's what I need.
Yeah, he said that's what I need. Bro. It was a good color palette cleanser, to be honest, from the superhero movies, because
I'm telling you,
I
Samir
don't want to
loves-
see this kind of color grading anymore. It looks
Samir
like
loves the Armageddon. Zack Snyder color grading the orange, bro.
That is by far the worst thing ever.
what's wrong with you? So, all right, let's move to quick rapid fire, and then we'll wrap up the stream itself. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This is a me and Zayyan topic. Let's go quick on it. Is it a worthy finale? Zayyan, you go first.
I thought it was fine. I mean, like, I don't know what. Obviously, no spoilers because it hasn't come out yet. But
Hasn't come out yet. Yeah.
I don't know what people who are huge fans of the series or big fans of Indiana Jones, what they would want or expect in a finale for this character. But for me, I was never like a huge fan. I thought, yeah, the originals were all right. They're nothing too special for me specifically. So for me, this is just another Indiana Jones film. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was interesting. I wasn't really bored throughout at the movie, so I was just engaged with the movie, and I thought it was fine. It didn't wow me in any way, yeah, but it wasn't bad either. So for me, it was fine. But maybe someone was very invested in this character and wants a specific idea for what they want to see or how they want to see it end. I don't know if they're gonna like it or not, but for me, it was all right.
What score did you give it?
3.5.
All right, so I give him a 3 out of 5. I'm a little less on you. I think when you attach a name like James Mangold, who did Logan, and you say, go make the final Indiana Jones movie with Harrison Ford, I was expecting a bit more of a character study. I'm not saying it has to be super deep rated R. I'm saying I'm expecting a little bit more nuance, a little bit more layers.
This guy always wants Logan, bro.
Hello, if you told me the same thing, one was a goodbye to Hugh Jackman, of course he's back now, and one is a goodbye to Harrison Ford, I wanted something with a little bit of nuance. I think they went extremely safe, and now I almost felt bad that Steven Spielberg should have finished it. He directed 4 out of the 5 movies. He should have directed all of them and made it his pen.
Okay, I think you're wrong on this, because even with, I get you saying, yo, yeah, a little more nuance and more deep, whatever, but it's different. With the X-Men, they are innately just like tragic characters. They are on like the fringes of society. They're hated. People want to kill them. People saying they're freaks, stuff like that. That makes sense that, yeah, he's going to have a very desolate future. You know, like if you want to make an ending for him, that works. You can make it that way instead of like a perfect happy ending. But this Indiana Jones is always about the adventure. It's not about some deep character study. It's not about, oh, what is Indiana Jones' psyche? What's going on with him? You know what?
Get him in therapist chair. The problem is they tried doing it very badly.
What do you expect? You can't.
I was expecting more.
Indiana Jones.
Guess what? I expect more now.
No, like if they did that, people would be like, "Oh yeah, not my Indiana Jones."
No, they wouldn't. I'm not saying
Luke Skywalker. Like, oh yeah, he's
so much,
corrupted. You know, like
I'm not
by
saying
the Jedi. He hates this, hates that. Character study this, character study that, and everybody hated it because
I'm not saying
that's not Luke Skywalker's.
I'm not saying make the Last Jedi for Indiana Jones. I'm saying if it's his last story, then give me something that I can sit with and be like, wow, like I thought about the entire 5 movies now. And like,
I don't think so. It's more like, oh yeah, one last adventure for old time's sake. You know
what? That's not what the movie was trying to say, and things happened very strangely. I don't want to get into spoilers because the movie didn't come out yet. I'm happy for anyone to go see it themselves.
No, I didn't think it was perfect. It has problems. Obviously, it's not great.
A lot of problems. There's a lot of problems.
It's not like some deep character study. That's not what Indiana Jones is about.
And some of the de-aging.
If Spielberg was here, he would just make it more of a. It would feel more like Indiana Jones with Spielberg, obviously, but it's still just an adventure.
Let me tell you something. When people do their ranking of this 5 movies, it's going to be in the bottom 2, no matter what, unfortunately. Okay?
But it won't be
the third movie, his dad showed up. The first movie, you know, like they're doing a thing, and then, you know, the stunts, you know, now it's everything CGI, so the stunts don't even matter anymore. So it's kind of like, it's not what it used to be, okay?
Okay, he's like 80 years old. What stunts do you want him to do?
I'm saying the stunt double does it. You think he was riding a horse? It was a stunt double.
The horse wasn't CGI, they did something.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
maybe it was,
but they didn't actually the horse in the subway. They weren't chasing a train. And horse,
that's different. But like, they're on the street, you know.
Okay, but remember the Indiana Jones Disney World ride, bro? Like they showed the how they did the stunts. Okay, they did it when the ball is falling on them.
This guy wanted the final Indiana Jones movie to be Indiana Jones Stuntacular.
Yeah, I did. I literally did.
This guy wants Han Solo to do stuff.
Indiana Jones was never that deep, so I don't know why people expect this one to be deep.
Looks like Fatima agrees with you there, Peach, saying the character study was actually there for Indiana Jones, his father's struggle, and everything was very clearly shown. So I thought it was shown, but so surface layer that it's like the most surface, you know?
This guy wants everything to be Ben Affleck Batman.
No, I don't.
Going through it.
I want something. You know? Let me chew on something.
Umer's right. Yeah, you want to be like, oh yeah, he's deconstructed and now he's a come back to the light. You know, that's what you want to. Even though they did kind of something like that. You know?
They did that, but in a very, very, very quick way, bro. They did it very quickly. And then, okay, bro, what's with like all the the kid characters in every movie, bro?
That's what Indiana Jones is. What do you want?
Yeah, but I feel like this kid was
just trying to capture the same feelings.
This kid did a good job, actually.
Yeah, that color grading looks exactly like the Snyder Armageddon.
This color is so bad.
Where were they? Were they in like Morocco? This is like the generic.
Like Algeria or something like that. Yeah,
they went to Algeria or Morocco and they put the orange filter on the whole thing. The second they got there, the second they landed in orange, I was like, how did this happen? Then again, Black Adam did the same thing.
Bro, there's sand in the air, bro. What are you saying?
The sand in the air, everything's yellow. But yeah, the movie wasn't bad. I mean, just
it was pretty bad.
Some of the characters I didn't like that much. Okay, some of the characters, like the student, like the goddaughter.
I wonder what Samir thinks.
Samir, what do you think about Indiana Jones? You didn't watch it. You're not gonna. You know why? Have you seen? How about this? Have you seen any Indiana Jones movie? or was
I
it
don't think
way
so.
past your time?
I don't think I've seen any.
Not even the first one. Not even Raiders.
I might have seen Raiders. I don't remember.
And Boo, I'm not even gonna ask you. So, and then remember when we said that his like, would you ever watch Asteroid City?
Probably not. If I keep
All
it
right.
on.
No,
Yeah.
that's fine.
You
All
were
right.
in the movie.
Not my cup of tea.
Uh,
I gotta say though, this take that Sheraz gave is probably his worst ever in cinema debate history.
But I mean, you don't even know what the movie we're talking about, so you have no.
I know, but because it's that's how you know it's a bad take, because I didn't watch the movie and I know it's a bad take. You know?
You love Last Jedi. You love.
I don't know. He has some pretty bad things.
Oh, Last Jedi is pretty good.
Yeah, and then if you like Last Jedi, you would agree with me.
Yeah, but Luke Skywalker is different, bro. You know,
He's the same as Indiana Jones. They're the same character. They can
Not the same,
Nah,
not the
bro.
same, because the whole Jedi is rooted in like tragedy and like
That's only with the
hubris
prequels.
and
There's nothing
arrogance,
tragedy in the first
you know?
three movies.
this
There's
Indiana
no
Jones
tragedy in
is
the.
fun, you know.
Yeah, you're overthinking the prequels here. The Luke Skywalker was super campy in those three movies.
That's true, actually. But that's why Last Jedi is really good, because they finally returned to like prequel action. You know what I'm saying?
Love it. All right, now one more quick one. Now that topic been longer because we had some debate. This one I don't think there's gonna be much debate, but Elemental came out. I'm thinking about Pixar quality control. Like is Pixar losing steam? Zayyan, quick one. Or did you like the movie? Do you think it's losing steam? Where do you stand on Elemental?
I thought the
It's
movie's
not doing great at
fine.
box office.
I thought it was fine, but the one thing to blame is the marketing. The trailers were so bad, and even like the little snippets for it, like on social media, like who are they marketing this movie for? It was done so poorly. Like there is a solid movie in there about like race and immigrants and things like that, and I guess they were just so scared of making that public that they were like, let's just market it as a dumb comedy movie. When even though, yeah, obviously it was comedy, all Pixar is, but it's like there was more to the movie that they just left out of every trail and everything.
So the movie itself was good, but
It was all right. Yeah, like for me, it was 3.5, so it was okay. It was pretty good. Not pretty good, but it was good. But it was just generic, and they marketed it as something very generic. So yeah, who's gonna watch that garbage? You know?
Yeah, I agree. Marketing was absolutely garbage in this movie. I give 2.5. I thought it was pretty good. I really liked the immigrant story they were telling. I think they did a very good allegory on race. I think if they were like you said, if they advertised it, they'd be like, oh, woke, they got woke, and then they'd be scared of that. Right? They were scared of Ron DeSantis or something. So they were like not, they didn't want to do it. Well, they should have just went straight and said this is literally an allegory for Chinese immigration in the 1930s. They could have just said it, right? But they don't want to. But they did it, and I think the movie did quite well, and the comedy was pretty sharp. I think that character studies were pretty good for a Pixar movie. But audiences, you guys, it's kind of your fault. You guys always you guys from the audience now. They were like, why does Disney keep making remakes, and why do they keep making sequels? Because people show up. Why does Little Mermaid get live action? Because people showed up. Why they make new movies like Elemental? They make Luca. They make the other movies. They all flop. And then the audience got trained to come to Disney Plus, so they don't care to watch it in theaters. And now they're flopping. Guess what? That's why we're getting Toy Story 5. That's why we're getting Finding Nemo 3. That's why we're getting Incredibles 3. That's why we're getting Frozen 3. We're going to get sequels now because no one showed up. No one showed up to Lightyear. Guess what? Toy Story 5 is coming out now. So that's just
Yes.
lit.
Thank you, audience.
Lit.
So you don't want Woody and Buzz to just rest now. You don't think that they've done their thing? Every time they make a movie,
we don't
you
want
risk
this
ruining it.
Everest.
Every time they make a movie, you're gonna risk ruining the entire point. What if it flops? Then what? If it not flop, what if they ruin the characters? Then you're gonna be like, oh,
They already ruined Buzz in Toy Story 4. What more can you do?
ruined Woody too. At least Woody was good.
No, yeah, Woody carried the movie. Woody and both people carried the movie.
In fact, the next one they should let Buzz carry it.
I agree. It's the only way you do it. And guess what?
It's done.
They confirmed on the earnings call, Bob Iger, he said Woody and Buzz are back. That means this movie's going to reunite them, even though the end of Toy Story 4 was so freaking sad because it's supposed to be the goodbye between the characters. And now they're already reunited. Samir, what do you think?
So question is, which immigrant story is better, this one or this one?
The ultimate immigrant stories of Justice League.
Also, for everyone, you can find this on cinemadebate.com.
It's to this day,
in case you didn't see it,
it's to this day the highest viewed article on our site, I think, or top 3. So there you go. It's been 5 years, still unbeaten.
That's
we're running like Jordan right
I
now.
can't name a second article.
I could.
What about the Bruce Wayne?
It's called The Brilliance of Black Panther by Samir Hassan.
I saw some clips of.
I thought it was
Elemental.
Brilliance of Fantastic Beasts 2: Crimes of Grindelwald.
The one you give 4 out of 5.
So you get 4.5.
Samir gave Fantastic Beasts 2 and Wes Anderson's actually the same score.
Yo, take that down.
No, like
bro.
you're granted one
Take it down.
mistake.
He said take it down.
Yo, take that down, bro.
That was
Put it in
Simir's
the
one
feature,
mistake,
bro. What do you think?
and Shraz's one mistake was Space Jam 2 4.5.
Space Jam 2?
4.5.
I've lowered it 2.5 for second watch.
The
You,
Yeah,
only
watch
thing
it a
worse
second.
than Grindelwald is Space Jam 2.
you watch it more than once?
Watched it more than once, yeah. I have to make sure.
This guy misses LeBron so much in the offseason, he has to watch freaking Space Jam 2.
It's more than I was trying to get the retweet, but it is what it is.
Did you get it?
I'm not sure.
See, look, he's better than Jordan. He got an award.
Right. So, yeah. Toy Story 5. That's coming out because Elemental did not do well in theaters. Quick, 2 more topics. We're almost done to be even more rapid fire. Netflix did their To Doom special where they showed off like the new things coming out for Netflix, obviously doing their thing. They have big budgets, big stuff going on. I think the 2 biggest projects, the one left for last, was Rebel Moon and the One Piece, which is going to be the most expensive TV show yet. Literally more expensive than Game of Thrones, all of that. It's putting a lot of budget on it. I'm not sure it's all translating, but they get the budget. And Rebel Moon is
more
also
more than Rings of Power.
Oh no, not more than Rings of Power, but it's more. It's Netflix's most, more than Stranger
Yeah,
Things.
okay.
Yeah. So, Rebel Moon, obviously Zack Snyder. That's him completely going on his own writing, his own style. From what I've seen, it's going to be like, I know Samir won't like the comparison, but Evangelion is like the closest comparison to what I've seen from concept art and stuff, and that's very high praise I'm giving on it because that's considered probably one of the best animes of all time, and that's what I think Zack Snyder is drawing on when it comes to Rebel Moon and some of the concepts he wants to run with. But nevertheless, there was a behind-the-scenes footage of how the movie's being made. I think it's going to be quite good. I wish this movie gets a full IMAX release, what it deserves, but in the end, it's Netflix's choice. But I think it's pretty good. And another thing is One Piece, which Samir, I'm going to go to you because you love One Piece. So, what do you want? Season 100 of 200? So, what do you think about this live action trailer? Is it piquing your interest?
I think making One Piece from the beginning was a mistake because it's so long and still ongoing. Like they just released an episode like the same day as the trailer dropped. So and plus it's so like fantastical, so goofy. They can't really CGI it that much.
It's fantastical.
Yeah. But the trailer looks pretty bad, even though the budget is extremely high. It's like 18 million per episode or something, right?
It's very
What the
expensive, yeah.
hell?
That it does not look like that. It looks I don't know what's going on, the color grading and everything. It just doesn't look that good. I do think people will watch it still because it's One Piece, because it's popular. After the first season, I don't think they can do anything after that because it just gets too crazy with the CGI. There's no way they can do it. Even the CGI in the trailer wasn't even that great, and the color grading was extremely orange. There's like a whole arc that takes place in the desert. I don't know how they would ever even do that. So I don't have high hopes for the show. I think people will watch it still because of One Piece, but
Doesn't have
I don't think it'll be good.
Now I know.
Skip around. Like if it lasts, it's not gonna follow it 1-to-1. It's gonna jump a lot of seasons or a lot of episodes over and
They're
over.
doing the whole first season. It's like 80 episodes they're covering. They're covering 80 episodes of the anime in like 8 episodes.
Oh my god.
So
Right now, based on what Samir said, I feel like now I know what Omer feels like when we talk about anything else. Like, what is that talking about? Like, what do you mean desert arc? Like, okay, thought it was in the water. Thought they're in the ocean.
yeah, they're pirates, but then at the end, like the start of the second season, they'll have to like CGI a mountain and they have to sail their ship up the mountain. It's like they can never do that. How are they ever going to do that?
Listen, this comes to show some things don't need to be live action. Disney, Netflix for all anime. We don't need it. We don't need Attack on Titan in live action. Don't care. We don't need One Piece in live action. I don't want to see Dragon Ball Z ever again in live action. Let things live. I don't want to see
Anime
Toy Story in live
especially.
action.
No, it's anime especially. Anime is such a unique art form that's so like it's capable of doing so many things in animation that you just cannot translate to live action without looking weird or like wonky or like off kilter. Like it doesn't look right. I think they'll learn their lesson after first season unless people really vibe with it. I don't know. Maybe general audiences who don't even know One Piece or like aren't really into anime, they'll stumble onto this and be like, "Oh, I love this now," and they'll continue. But I don't think anime fans of the show or like anime fans in general will enjoy any live action anime.
I agree.
All right, and then last quick one before we do our fun topic, and that's Demon Slayer season 4. Don't get into spoilers because my wife hasn't seen it yet, and only for her I'm not going to spoil it. So, what did you think about it? I think the series, unfortunately, has taken a bit of a slump, flying a little down the season. Not as interesting to me. I don't want to say it's mid-carried by animation, which is Samir's favorite, thing about it, because it's not. I think season 1 was 10 out of 10. Season 2, I mean, it's high. But season 3, I think, wasn't that great, but I think they left everything to the end. So this is a lesson for pacing. I hope they pace themselves much better for the next, I think there's only 2 seasons worth of things to do now. And to make one into a movie, there's only 1 season left. So I hope they do well as they end it. I mean, they only could follow 1-to-1, so if the book is that way, it is with that. What can you do? But I think I wish they did a little better. I got a little bored by some of the fight scenes. I got a little bored by some of the villains. Not as interesting. I think they peaked at Rengoku's fight.
A Superman fan bored by the villains of anything else? Wow.
Got a little bored by the villains. I mean, they're kind of like Superman villains. Samir, what did you think about Demon Slayer? Quick thoughts.
I think it ended on a high note, but the whole season kind of dragged. It was all just it was really just animation. That was the good part of it.
Just fight scenes.
The episode, yeah, but they were so slow. It was like one fight scene for 12 episodes. So I don't know. It wasn't.
The fight started too quick and it never ended till the end. I was like,
it never ended, but like nothing even really happened in the fight. It's like they did like 2 things or something.
Yeah, 2 things happened. It's like, I get it, a show and archetype as one certain thing, but I just not sure how much it could take Tanjiro getting hurt and then thinking about what to do, and then he either gets bailed out or he just figures it out, and then he gets very powered out of nowhere. It's like, how'd you do it? And then like, I guess they did that for 4 seasons straight now, and I missed the time where he just couldn't get up to fight. Asaka, I think his name is, right. So he just couldn't get up, and Rengoku died trying to do it. That is what I call peaking that show, and now it's become a little formulaic, which I hate to say because I do love these characters, but I hope it gets a little out of formula. Zayyan, do you agree, disagree?
Yeah, I agree. It was like Demon Ball Z this season. It was like the Frieza fight started at the beginning and it didn't end till the end. I think it was really carried by animation throughout this season specifically, but the last episode was definitely the best of the season by far because obviously story loaded at the end. But I think if the last episode wasn't as good as it was, I'll be much harder on the season. But it was short and the last episode was good, so I guess it was all right.
All right, now we usually end our stream with some kind of fun little thing out of film scope, and Omer has donated a photo for us. So we'll play a game of this or that. All right, you got to pick one of these styles, and in the comments, anyone can jump along if you want to do it. So this or that. We'll go line by line, I think, instead of going each person.
Yeah, line by line.
All right, so let me put it back on the screen so you can see it. All right, this or that. Do you like sweet food or sweet or savory? Like just straight up, take that. Zayyan, go first.
Savory.
Omer, what about you?
Savory, I guess.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'll go. I was gonna go sweet if we're talking about like savory snacks or sweet snacks, but savory in general, I prefer like a savory food. So we're all 4 on savory. All right, pizza or pasta? Now we're talking. We're getting into the weeds of it now. All right, Zayyan, go again.
Definitely pasta.
Omer.
Skip me because I gotta think about this one.
All right, Samir, where are you at?
Pasta.
I'm gonna go with
This one's hard.
if it's a New York slice, you can't go wrong.
Pasta is too versatile.
Yeah,
you can have different cuisines that have pasta with different styles, different flavors. It's too good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pasta,
but you could have
pizza.
Chicago style pizza. You could have the New York cheese, the New York slice. You could have different types of pizza too.
I don't know about that.
Also, if you had to pick one,
It all
of
tastes the
gone-
same, just
oh my
texture
God,
different.
Yeah.
Unless you have toppings.
And now, if you go from there to like we're going to this ice creams of the world, frozen sweets.
I'm on
We're going to
pizza.
gelato versus ice cream. Zane,
Ice cream, bro.
Ice cream, yeah, 100%.
a good mango gelato, you can't go wrong. But I'm gonna go with ice cream as well. Samir, did you give your opinion on this one?
Yeah, ice cream.
All right, now we're talking about breakfast versus brunch.
You
Brunch.
love brunch.
Definitely brunch.
Yeah, I'll go brunch as well. All right, bagel versus donut. If you're in New York, you had to pick a bagel. But Zane, what are you doing?
I'll pick bagel.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna choose bagel.
How do you know? You love
Samir loves Tim Hortons
I'll
donuts.
go with
you love
donuts
Tim
for
Hortons.
sure. I don't really like bagels that much.
There he lives like bagels. He said.
Bagels.
Have you been,
like
Samir, have you been to Kettleman's?
bagel?
What?
Yeah, I've been there.
You've been to Kettleman's and you still choose donuts? What's wrong with you?
There's like a Tim Hortons in every corner, bro. Just go pick up a donut right now.
This guy's the worst. This guy's the worst, bro.
That
Now,
Easter donut when we were there, that was times pretty good. Not gonna lie.
pretty good.
Exactly.
Cake or pie?
Definitely cake.
Cake, yeah.
Go with cake.
Samir loves pie though.
Samir loves pie, yeah.
Pie's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going with cake.
What about the meat pies, bro? What are you saying?
Meat pies has
That
different.
doesn't even count.
That is a count.
It all counts in theory. All right. Now, tea or coffee?
Wait,
Coffee.
this is gonna be interesting. 'Cause I don't think any of us have tea or coffee, right?
I'll,
You guys have
I'll,
coffee?
I drink coffee.
I'm not
Samir
big on
loves
both.
coffee.
Samir, you love both, so what do you want?
I drink coffee.
Coffee? Bro, stressed. Drinking that morning coffee. I really don't like coffee, so if I had to choose one, it's tea. What about you?
You would.
I hate both, but I don't mind some coffee drinks like that Starbucks bottled mocha drink. So I'll choose coffee by default for that.
And Suhail jumped in with tea. Of course, he's the Britisher, so not surprised. And all right, so pancakes or crap?
Wait. What about Omer? What did you choose?
Who did I skip? Umar, did I skip you?
I choose coffee, bro. But it's for the same reason as you. I just can't have tea. Can't handle it.
So I'm the only one with tea from the four of us.
Unless it's Moroccan mint tea. That stuff is good.
That's pretty good.
You know.
Now we're going to breakfast foods. I'm not breakfast and sweet, but pancake or crap.
If anybody chooses crepe, they're like criminal. Pancakes are way better in every way.
They
Yo,
are
pancakes
bad.
are
the only.
What's a Yorkshire?
It's a type of tea.
Oh, interesting.
Tea from UK. UK tea.
The comment is so good.
And then
No, no one's like actual nuclear bomb. Like the Flash is a bigger bomb than.
I don't think no one would show a bigger bomb than that. That's a good one, I gotta be honest, yeah. The best team in the UK, yeah. So, all right, well, where are we at right now? Pancake.
Ramen
Are we
and
all
pho.
going pancakes?
Of course.
Yeah. Of
All
course.
right, ramen or pho? Pho. Pho or
Pho.
pho? How do you say it?
Yeah.
Is it pho?
Ramen.
I think so.
It's pho.
Have you had pho? Have you guys had pho? Like good pho?
I'll straight up admit I've never had it, but my
Me
wife
neither.
likes it. So, but I'll still go with ramen since it's the tried and true.
Samir,
And then-
did you have it? There's a place in Orleans now. Yeah, did you go?
No, I didn't.
What a guy, bro.
A lot of third list and say Mr. Noodles.
Mr. Noodles. So of all the ramen, saying Mr. Noodles is the best.
Indomie's the best.
Indomie.
Top ramen is the best.
Top. That's the worst one, famously.
Yo, Indomie's it's by far the best. Like it's this different levels to game.
I guess so. And then last but not least is tacos versus quesadilla.
Tacos, obviously.
Tacos, yeah.
I
Because
don't
tacos,
think-
you have
I don't
soft
think it's
I don't think I've
shell
ever had,
or hard shell, both good.
It's not that easy. Quesadilla, if you make it good, it's really good.
I don't think I've ever had a quesadilla.
Yo,
Go
you
with
went to Carlton, bro. There's a
There's a good.
quesadilla
There's a good.
calf.
There's a
Doesn't say
good.
you don't- yeah.
Pretty good actually.
There's a pretty good halal Mexican place here. When you guys come, we'll take you to it. And for ramen, Fatima says this company is the best. Samyang.
Samyang is the best.
Samsung.
And then
What?
tacos for Sohail. And that's all of us. Fatima, I think, dropped her entire list also. So she picked
Let's see
savory
what matches you.
pasta,
And
savory pasta, ice cream, brunch, bagel, cake, coffee, pancake, ramen, taco. I think me and my wife are exactly the same.
Yeah, my list was also
Oh,
the same. Yeah.
minus the coffee. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, minus coffee also for me. I went tea, but the rest we were the same. Cool. There you go.
Are you gonna do the? What do you guys think? Close it out.
Yeah, close it. I'm closing out right now. I think how to. All right. All right. What did you guys think about Asteroid City? If you watched it, I mean, if only made $3 million, I don't think many people watched it. But what did you think about it? Indiana Jones coming out next weekend, so let us know what you think when you watch it. And then, what do you contribute to the Flash's box office woes? Let us know in the comments below and join the debate. From myself, from Zayyan, from Omer, and from Samir, we're the Farooqi Bros, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.